Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the specifications of a good test. Before starting the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. So, in order for an assessment or a test to be considered good, it must meet certain criteria. The criteria are as follows. The assessment or the test should be able to measure what it is supposed to measure. It should be reliable, valid, authentic, efficient, and also practical. These are the 5 criteria that are used to evaluate whether a test or an assessment is good or not. So let's start with the first criterion, which is that the assessment should measure what it is supposed to measure. If the assessment does not measure what it is supposed to measure, then it is considered a bad assessment. For example, if you want to assess students' learning of vocabulary and you design a test that has a reading passage and questions based on that passage. But the thing is that the questions have nothing to do with the vocabulary that you want to assess, then this is not a good test, because it doesn't measure what it is supposed to measure. The second criterion is that the assessment should be reliable. This means that if you administer the assessment or the test to a group of students, and then there is a little change made in the test, and then you administer the test again to the same group of students, the results should be almost the same. If the results are very different, and if the change that you made in the test is very minor, then the assessment is not reliable. For example, if you design a reading comprehension passage and you ask students to answer some questions based on that passage, and if you change a word in the passage or you change a word in one of the options of a multiple choice question, then the results should not change drastically. The third criterion is that the assessment should be valid. This means that in order for an assessment to be considered valid, it should be reliable. But reliability does not guarantee validity. For example, if you want to assess students' learning of vocabulary, and you design a test that has a reading passage and questions based on that passage, but the thing is that the questions have nothing to do with the vocabulary that you want to assess, then this is not a good test, because it doesn't measure what it is supposed to measure. The fourth criterion is that the assessment should be authentic. For example, if you are teaching a science lesson and you want to assess students' learning of some scientific concepts, then the questions that you ask in the test should resemble the kind of questions that scientists ask in their research. The fifth and the last criterion is that the assessment should be efficient and practical. This means that the assessment should be able to provide information about students' learning in a relatively short period of time, and it should also be easy to administer and easy to score. So these are the 5 criteria that are used to evaluate whether a test or an assessment is good or not. If you like this video, please like and share it, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a nice day.